What's going on, everybody? My name is Jeff Monk. I'm the drive coach and an engineering mentor for Team 5895 Petty Robotics. Welcome to episode 5 of Rebuilt Weekly Rundown, where we're going to be highlighting FRC teams from around the world and the progress that they're making during this build season. This week, we'll be checking in on some teams that are testing their completed robots and gaining insights into their performance. There's some hands-on experience that helps these teams to identify tweaks and optimizations to enhance functionality and ultimately improve their efficiency before they hit the field. Many of the teams featured are sharing open build logs through the Open Alliance on Chief Delphi. But if you or your team has something you want highlighted, post in the comments or head to the fun Discord link below and post in the FRC chat so we can check it out. Let's get to it. First up on our list, we're going to be covering Team 157, the Aztecs out of Marlborough, Massachusetts. So this is an awesome GIF that they posted. The Aztecs posted earlier this week. What it's showing is this awesome dynamic between their slap down intake and the expandable hopper that is mechanically associated with it. Uses a pretty simple slider mechanism. And as you can see in this reciprocating, image here, the intake, as it extends and retracts, folds in and out, it also folds or extends and retracts the hopper with it, which is great. So they have instant additional capacity, taking advantage of the extension limits that they're allowed to have outside of one direction of the frame. Couple things to consider here. If the Aztecs are looking to deploy a climber that might extend out a different direction, they'll obviously have to make sure that their intake retracts, which is, per the extension rules for rebuilt this year. Additionally, this intake is probably going to be taking some level of abuse from, just general gameplay. So I anticipate 157 is going to be looking at stress testing this mechanism, maybe providing it with some lateral force, some lateral hits to see how it holds up. But ultimately, a really clean implementation of an expandable hopper with an associated slapdown intake from the Aztecs.
Before we get to our next segment, we'd like to thank the following. Founded by First alumni, FRCtees understands what teams need. High-quality apparel fast. From t-shirts to jackets and more, with a free 14-day turnaround and faster options available, you can join 200-plus teams who are already saving. Get a free quote by scanning the QR code or going to FRCtees.com.
Okay, next up we have Team 6838 X-Sharc out of Istanbul, Turkey. So this is an awesome, super exciting video to see. This is an early example of one of the more complete turret systems that we're seeing from X-Sharc. What I want to point out here, their packaging is really clean. They have a really, really modestly sized shooter spinning around on that turret system. But as you can see, that team member in the background is holding that cable, that wire, that conductor line running to the turret. So this is something that a lot of teams need to consider if they're going in the turret direction. The engineering challenge associated with a turreted shooter is difficult in and of itself, but the cable management is something that cannot be overlooked. I imagine X-Sharc already has several options on the table. I think from some of their earlier posts associated with this video, they're already preparing to reveal what sort of cable management system they're going to be utilizing. Could be, E-chain or iGUS chain. It could be just an appropriately or creatively routed, maybe wire loom or something like that. But again, teams who are going in the direction of a turreted shooter have to respect the challenge associated with engineering an appropriate cable management approach, given the speeds and the quickness that these turrets are going to have to move at. So make sure you don't get tangled up, keep it organized, and don't underestimate the lift associated with cable management on a turret. Great job so far from X-Sharc. Next up, we're going to be talking about Team 5951 Makers Assemble out of Tel Aviv, Israel. Makers Assemble always comes up with a really, really well-implemented machine. They've been doing very well over the last couple of years. Here you can see 5951 is showing first examples or some early examples of cycle practice, drive practice, where they're collecting game pieces, moving into position, and then shooting them into the hub. You see their expandable hopper with the associated intake, as well as the ability to agitate and feed into their shooter. And what 5951 did is they went with a static shooter, so it's not on a turret, but it does have an adjustable hood. So they'll be using the drive base of their robot to adjust the heading of their shots to aim appropriately with adjustable, call it trajectory of the game piece as it leaves, courtesy of that expandable hood. So great engineering compromises made, very strategic tactical decisions to appropriately simplify their design and not overcomplicate the approach that they have for their machine. And as a result, they're one of the first teams that's publicly showing, drive practice and cycle training as their driver acclimates to this new machine and they get ready for competition. So great work from 5951. I'm really excited to see how they boost the dynamic nature of their scoring, routines with this robot, given that it doesn't have a turret, but it does have a super reliable method of delivery. So anyways, 5951, early out of the gate with cycle training. Really excited to see where they go from here.
Before we get to our next segment, we'd like to thank the following. AndyMark provides superior service and reliability that teams expect at AndyMark.com. From the Robotics Launcher Expansion Kit to the SDS MK4 and 5 swerve modules, your team can be ready for rebuild. Don't forget to stock up on game-specific elements, bumper kits, and new for 2026 products at AndyMark.com.
Awesome. The last team we're going to be talking about in this episode is Team 967, the Iron Lions out of Marion, Iowa. I'm super excited about this robot. This robot is an awesome approach to this game. So why do I like it? It's super tiny, right? This is the robot completely folded up. You're looking at a frame perimeter. Actually, this is not completely folded up, but it's pretty, that's how small it is. It looks like it's folded up. The intake is actually deployed here. You're looking at a frame perimeter that is, I think it's under 24 by 24 right now. So a lot of teams are approaching rebuilt thinking about onboard capacity. They're trying to build big, expansive hoppers so their robot can drive around, acquire game pieces, and hold on to them until it's time to score. What the Iron Lions are doing is they're taking a totally different approach. So they have this small little robot with, again, a very modest frame perimeter. I believe, according to their online posts, that they have an onboard capacity of 5 fuel. Again, 5, not 50, not 15 or 25, but 5 fuel total. So they can't even completely pre-stage their 8 game pieces for the beginning of the match, at least inside their robot. I'm sure they'll come up with a way to retain, ownership of those additional 3. But this robot is designed to, as quickly as possible, transfer or translate game pieces, fuel from the floor to wherever they need it to go via their shooter, with breakneck speed. So they've simplified the ball path. The processing of the game piece of the fuel from the floor through the intake into their indexer and then to their turreted shooter is very small. But what they can do is instantaneously dictate the match flow and where volume is being translated to on the field. So I imagine a robot like this 967 is going to be deadly in the center zone as a passer, if I was to guess. I think they can also do very well at cleanup, quickly strafing back and forth within their home zone, acquiring and instantaneously putting shots on goal, putting fuel into the hub. So again, a very unique sort of outside of the standard meta that we've seen approach right now from 967. Really excited to see how they do. I think this is an awesome implementation. And I'm, just in general, a huge fan of these smaller, more modestly sized robots because they end up being, absolutely critical and super effective in a field of very large, lumbering robots. So 967, you guys are on an awesome path. Can't wait to see this robot hit the field in its first event. Thanks for watching this week's Rebuilt Weekly Rundown. If you want to get involved, drop a comment on this video or head to the fun Discord linked in the description and share a cool video or update from your team. Make sure you subscribe to Fun so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, give the video a like. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos.